This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
And I'm Bill Bryant. Kentucky Morning Start here on WKYT. We're so glad you're with us. Wednesday, March 23rd.
Now at 6 o'clock, a Lexington family is frantically awaiting for answers as a Kentucky woman and her husband are still missing after the terrorist attacks in Brussels.
Meanwhile, there is an international manhunt underway for one of the suspects behind the attacks at the Brussels airport.
And find out how police say they were able to make a second arrest in a Lexington gas station robbery.
We have the 50s outside this morning. You got to remember, afternoon temperatures are typically where you're seeing them right now. So it's a good feel out and about. We hit the afternoon at 68 degrees. Gusty winds, about the same day as yesterday, but tomorrow, strong to severe weather threat. We're going over that coming up.
We'll see you in just a bit. Let's get to the news.
The terrorist attacks in Belgium are being felt this morning right here in Kentucky. A Lexington native and her husband are still unaccounted for after the attacks.
Agonizing hours going by. Certainly Justin and Stephanie Schultz were in the Brussels airport when two explosions went off, killing many. Stephanie's mother was with them, and this morning we are hearing from family members of the couple who are worried, but they certainly are not giving up hope. WKYT's Mark Barber is kicking off our team coverage from the live desk. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. It has certainly been a very long 24 hours for this couple's family. Stephanie Schultz and her husband were dropping her mother off at the airport yesterday morning when the bombs exploded. The young couple was near the check-in counter when those blasts went off. It's now been a little more than a day since those explosions rocked the airport, and they are still missing. As you would imagine, their family is incredibly concerned. At least 34 people are dead and 214 others were hurt by the bombs at Brussels airport and subway. Stephanie is from Lexington, where she graduated from Bryan Station High and then went on to graduate from Transylvania University. She met her husband Justin while they were getting their master's degrees at Vanderbilt University. They're both accountants, and they moved to Brussels about a year and a half ago on a 3-year program. Justin's brother says he has been searching through videos of the terrorist attacks online, hoping he'll spot the missing couple.
The State Department talked to my mom about an hour ago, and they were not on any kind of casualty list at that time. They're just, two of the greatest people you'd ever meet.
While they are still waiting to hear from them, their family is not giving up hope of seeing them again. They think Stephanie and her husband may have been hurt and could be recovering in a hospital somewhere where there may be a lot of chaos keeping them from calling home. As the family waits, they're asking for prayer. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, still a lot of hope, and as we said, the hours are tough as they go by, but the hope is that they will be heard from at some point soon. And this morning, investigators have identified 2 of the men who carried out the attacks at the Brussels airport.
Belgian media say the pair were brothers. They say one brother rented an apartment that was raided by police last week in an operation that led police to the top Paris attacks suspect. But this morning, the hunt continues for at least one suspect in the Belgian blast that seemingly vanished. Tina Kraus has the latest.
Authorities continued searching the Brussels neighborhood of Schaerbeek overnight, looking for suspects connected to Tuesday's deadly terror attacks. One of them, seen here with 2 of the suspected airport attackers, is said to be on the run. Belgian prosecutors say he vanished, leaving his luggage at the scene, while the men next to him died when they detonated explosives hidden in their bags. Police raided a house in the area Tuesday and found chemicals, an explosive device containing nails, and an ISIS flag.
It's a bit weird to think that there are people so close to you that could do something like that.
Security teams locked down Brussels yesterday when ISIS terrorists set off explosions at an airport and train station. Emergency officials treated many of the wounded on the streets.
You see it in movie, but you cannot imagine when you see people yelling like they are going to die.
A memorial is now growing in the center of the city for those killed. Many mourners are reminded of the ISIS terror attacks that struck Paris just 4 months ago.
These guys are going after soft targets, right, on the near side of security. We have to push that security perimeter out. Number 2, we need better intelligence.
The assault on Brussels came days after the arrest of the prime suspect in the Paris attacks. So far, authorities in Belgium have not made a direct link between the 2 events. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Officials from the European Union are expected to meet tomorrow to discuss the Belgian bombings. Keep checking WKYT.com for updates on the Belgian terror attacks. And you'll also find the latest information on the WKYT News app.
The time is 6:05 here on WKYT, and new this morning, police have made a second arrest in a Lexington robbery. We were reporting live on this developing story at this time yesterday. Now we know much more about the crime and how police say they were able to make an arrest. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is live in Lexington to explain. Good morning, Caitlin.
Investigators now tell us after the pair they believe robbed this gas station on Newtown Pike. They then left and went to another gas station to fill up their tank, but that's when their quick getaway was interrupted. Police now have two men in custody. 18-year-old Quantavian Level is one of them. Investigators say while one man waited in the car, the other suspect, who was armed, robbed the gas station in the early morning hours Tuesday, getting away with $30. According to police, Level and the other man got away in a red Jeep Wrangler. They say that vehicle was stolen prior to the robbery. It wasn't long before police spotted the 18-year-old putting gas in the Jeep at a Thornton's over on Georgetown Road. According to the arrest citation, after police directed Level and the other man to exit the stolen vehicle, they again fled, swiping a police paddy wagon on their exit. They led police on a chase, then fled by foot after turning on to Whitney Avenue. Now, Level was charged back in February in relation to a separate robbery. He'll be arraigned in court this afternoon at 1 o'clock. Live in Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Caitlin, thank you. And new on WKYT this morning, another Lexington gas station has been robbed. This time, the Shell on New Circle and Russell Cave happened a little bit ago. Police say just after 3 o'clock this morning, a man went into the store and implied he had a weapon. Police might have an easy time tracking him down because they say he didn't make any effort to cover up his face. Well, it certainly was a thriller. The NAIA National Championship game featuring Georgetown College ended with a buzzer beater in overtime.
March Madness at its finest. Georgetown played Mid-America Christian last night in Kansas City. The game is only available on the internet, but Galvin's restaurant in Georgetown showed it for alumni and fans. The score was close the entire game, but with 10 seconds to go in overtime, the Tigers drained a three to go up by one, but Mid-America drove the length of the court and hit a last-second jumper to win the game 100-99.
A heartbreaker for sure, but Georgetown can hold their heads high with that runner-up status nationally. The UK women's team will take on Washington, and that will be Friday night in the NCAA tournament. The Sweet 16 game is now set to tip off at 7 o'clock at Rupp Arena.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
You know, it's a pretty good looking morning outside. We're holding on to temperatures there in the 50s when typically our afternoon highs at 57, already near that in London Corbin area, Moorhead, Ashland, Prestonsburg. I mean, you look around, that's a pretty good feel. I will tell you this, the winds are 10 to 15 miles per hour at the moment, which means it is a little cool in some spots as that wind passes right by you. We get into the afternoon though, look at that, we're at 68. Awesome day in store. Now the clouds will start to be on the increase later on today. That's not going to help us out, but clouds never hurt anybody. I will tell you this though, when you start to see clouds on the increase, what does that mean? Something's on the way. So a really nice day, nothing going on in terms of anything falling out of the sky. We get into tomorrow, and the clouds are on the increase because of this. We'll start to see that rain move in tomorrow morning. Now that's showers tomorrow morning, not so much thunderstorms. But this is some good news for us. What this does is it helps a lot of that energy stay on out of here. The sunshine is never good on days that you're expecting thunderstorms. So if you can get that rain and the cloud cover off in here early in the morning, it'll limit a lot of that instability from getting going and just sitting there waiting for these storms to roll on through. The storm activity, we still expect that. A line of showers and thunderstorms going to be moving through. The severe chance, remember this is a low and severe weather risk, but the severe chance actually comes later on in the afternoon. Anywhere from 2 to 4 p.m. in the west, 4 to 7 there across central zones, that's bluegrass down toward the Cumberland region, and then 7 to about midnight is when you can expect it over toward the east and the southeastern areas. Once that moves on out right around midnight toward the east, then we're good to go, and the cooler air settles on in. I will say this, on Friday afternoon, Those temperatures there in the 40s and 50s. It'll be a pretty chilly day there on Friday. Nonetheless, we stay dry. So it's really all the focus is on tomorrow when these storms roll on through. As of right now, still looks like afternoon and evening is when you can expect those. The severe weather risk, not just rain, but the severe weather risk during that time.
But today's a beautiful day.
Awesome day. Great day.
Good to hear. So each morning we bring you weather and traffic together. Here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening on the roads. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, right now, an overall view at Lexington traffic, getting a live look at traffic flow, and not a whole lot happening out there. We have the construction zone on Todd's Road. Police are already running radar through there, getting set for rush hour. And also, there's a stalled car. It's on the inner loop of the circle, just before Meadow Lane, to let you know about. Drive times this morning with no wrecks in the way. It's normal right now from Nicholasville's 11 minutes, a little quicker than normal. Paris 17, Winchester about 23. We'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you.
All right. Always appreciate you, Don. Thank you very much. It is 6:10 on WKYT this morning, and up and at it here on this Wednesday. It's hump day. You know, the weekend's going to get here. More news is on the way for you.
The presidential frontrunners pick up big wins in Arizona, but their challengers aren't going away.
And it's not delivery. Well, yes, it is, but where's the driver? See what Domino's is now testing out. It's ahead.
Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 6:14. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton continue collecting delegates with big wins in Arizona last night.
But the other candidates did not walk away empty-handed. Bernie Sanders won the Democratic presidential caucuses in Idaho and Utah. He says tremendous voter turnouts gave his campaign those two victories. Ted Cruz won Utah's GOP caucus with John Kasich coming in second. A new CDC report says that it should help pediatricians who are dealing with the Zika virus right now, trying to identify it and treat it. It outlines ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat children with the mosquito-borne virus. The CDC says Zika should be suspected if a child traveled to an affected area and has at least 2 symptoms, including fever, rash, joint pain, or pink eye.
It's been nearly 3 months since Rolling Stone published Sean Penn's interview with Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Now the actress Penn, described as his ticket to Chapo's trust, is breaking her silence. According to the January article, Penn says while heading to meet Guzman, they came across a military checkpoint and were waved through when soldiers recognized one of El Chapo's sons, who was traveling with them. Kate Del Castillo tells CNN that's not true. She says there was no military checkpoint.
That's one of the biggest inconsistencies that I see in Sean's article, and that it really bothers me, because that never happened. So why say that, and why just hurt Mexico in that way? We're already too hurt. We already in pain. Mexico is bleeding right now.
Del Castillo says Guzman's associates reached out to her in 2014 and asked her if she would be interested in making a movie about his life. She says the film project got her introduced to Penn. She says she did not find out about the article until she and Penn were sitting down with El Chapo over tacos and tequila in the Mexican jungle. Now, Penn denies this in a statement to the New Yorker magazine, saying he was clear about his intention to interview Guzman in their first meeting. It's trending on Twitter this morning. A man has been sitting in an 80-foot tree in downtown Seattle for hours now. He climbed up the tree yesterday morning. He's been seen throwing things at police, first apples, then pine cones. They've tried negotiating with him, but to no avail, whatever his reason for being up there in that tree. Some people are determined to support him. Just check out #ManInTree on Twitter.
Well, I guess he has his reasons. We'll find out at some point. 6:17 on WKYT this morning. European markets are falling again this morning following the Brussels terror attack. In the U.S. yesterday, a somewhat muted response. The Dow dropped, but only 41 points. The Nasdaq gained 12. Travel stocks like airlines, cruise companies, and travel booking sites are taking a hit. A big win for thousands of workers at a Tyson Foods plant in Iowa. The Supreme Court upheld a $5.8 million judgment against the company. Workers sued to be paid for the time they spend putting on and taking off their protective work clothing before processing animals. Starbucks wants to donate all of its leftover food from its 7,000 plus stores here in the United States. Starbucks says the idea comes from the baristas. The company will aim to give 100% of its leftover food to Feeding America. The U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates that 30 to 40% of America's food supply is simply wasted. Score one for Samsung in the smartphone war against Apple. Consumer Reports named the new Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge the best market phones it has ever reviewed, saying the phones have excellent battery life and cameras even in low light. They're also waterproof for up to 30 minutes in 5 feet of water. And Domino's is testing out a prototype for the world's first ever commercial autonomous delivery vehicle. In other words, more or less a robot. It's named Drew. The four-wheeled contraption comes with compartments designed to keep food hot and drinks cold. It will be available to navigate to its drop-off destination at some point. The company says test runs are already underway in Australia. So we'll see how it works down under, and then maybe one of those will be rolling up your street with a pizza at some point.
Drew would be nice to have at the house, right?
Yeah, I guess, you know, we'll see where that goes.
Well, if you don't like to cook, I guess he's great. So WKYT this morning is just getting started. An Easter bunny gets into a mall brawl with a child's father. How his fluffy fist got him into trouble. We'll have that after weather.
We're in the 50s this morning, or 60s by the afternoon, maybe even a couple of 70s, but there's a reason why this warm air, these gusty winds are moving on in. Thunderstorms, I'll show you when that moves in, coming up.
Welcome back into WKYT this morning at 6:23. Breaking news this morning just in from CBS News, which is reporting that a man suspected in yesterday's deadly terrorist attacks at the Brussels airport has reportedly been arrested.
A Lexington native and her husband are still missing in Brussels more than 24 hours after terrorists detonated a series of bombs.
And that's what's trending at this hour. Stephanie Schultz moved to Belgium with her husband Justin about 1.5 years ago. She is a graduate of Bryan Station High School and Transylvania University. The family says the couple is not named on the State Department's casualty list. They are getting assistance from Congressman Andy Barr.
Lexington police have made a second arrest in a Lexington gas station robbery. Police say Quintavian Lavelle and another person robbed a Marathon on Newtown Pike yesterday morning.
And our first week of spring continues. Another nice day, but changes tomorrow. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, we're going to be right around 68 degrees later on this afternoon. If we do that, well, we will be above 60 degrees. There's no doubt about that. 100% confident. And if we're above 60 degrees again today, that'll be the 15th out of the 23 days that we've had this month that we've actually been above 60 degrees. Our average high this month so far is right there at 60.7 degrees. That is a big time average when typically our average for this month is right around 53. And we're already at 53 there in Lexington. 55 down south. It's a really good feel early this morning, and once we approach the afternoon, at 68, it's going to be breezy just like yesterday. It'll be dry just like yesterday. A few more clouds than yesterday, but I think that's the only difference, maybe a couple of degrees warmer. So all in all, this is a really nice day, but tomorrow here come those thunderstorms. Guys, we're going to be talking about strong thunderstorms, there's no doubt about it. But could we be looking at severe weather? And what's the timing on that? I have that coming up in just about 5 minutes.
Okay, so the first week of spring is going to sort of feature it all, it sounds like.
Sounds like it, definitely.
We'll enjoy today, though.
So move over, Judge Judy. Alaska's Mama Grizzly is getting a gavel.
Right. Former Governor Sarah Palin has signed a deal to make a pilot for a reality courtroom TV show. The production company says if they can find a buyer, the show will air 5 days a week starting next fall. The company says Palin is a natural fit, despite the fact that she has no legal training. Palin also starred in Sarah Palin's Alaska, a reality show that ran for 1 season on TLC. All right, a New Jersey mall Easter bunny and a father got into a scuffle. They've now made their first appearances in court since this brawl has gone viral. A lot of folks checking it out.
A lot of Easter bunnies, kind of scary at the mall, but this one, so much. The two men were charged with aggravated assault and disorderly conduct. The attack started when a girl getting her photo with the Easter bunny slipped from a chair. Words were exchanged between the bunny and the girl's father, and then the rabbit punches came out. Police confirmed the bunny also had a warrant for, yes, this is real, fair hopping.
Yeah, right. But Little bunny beatdown situation going on there.
Bunny beatdown. It's terrible. Kids should not have to see that.
Really? Well, at least he removed the rabbit's head, so it was revealed that it was
Can you imagine
two
if he
guys
hadn't?
fighting.
He should have left it on. That would have actually been smarter.
Probably couldn't see. This is trouble. 6:26 on WKYT this morning. Good to have you with us. Here we are on Wednesday. It's Hump Day now, and more news is on the way.
When WKYT This Morning returns, we're tracking down local connections to the terror attacks in Brussels. Coming up, hear from an EKU student who calls Belgium home.
Also more on this apparent third arrest in the terrorist attacks. And tonight's Powerball jackpot is $90 million. Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $35 million. We'll be right back on WKYT.